water is.
The same volume of water.
Right. But the same volume as your minerals.
Well, the 2.1
Yes.
volume of water.
Okay, does everybody have that sentence written down? Because
So-
when you're explaining this, it has to be.
The sentence would be sample number, fill in the blank for sample number, is specific gravity number that you find more dense than water.
It's a comparison of the two densities.
Say that again.
Let's write it down on the board. Can I see the sentence on the board, please?
Write it down, I can write it up here. What is the sentence?
Okay, one person say it, please. Sorry.
Say the sentence for me.
If specific gravity
My writing's horrible, by the way.
equals, or, okay, 2.1 is 2.1. It is the specimen, your sample, your rock, whatever, it. I don't want to use it.
Whoa. Can we talk about specific gravity of rocks since they're mixtures?
No.
It has to be mineral.
It has to be mineral.
Okay, the mineral then.
All right, you make me have a blank tongue, but, okay. The mineral
It's 2.1 ton.
is 2.1
Times.
times more dense
So it is in terms
than same volume of water. That's funny to me, but. All right, let me read it because my handwriting is really, really bad. If the specific gravity is 2.1, then the mineral that you're dealing with is 2.1 times more dense than the same volume of water. Everybody got that? Be sure you write it down because between now and August, it's not gonna stick. Now, Kim, what was your concern?
Well, you put dense in the definition, I was confused about the definition, because for the ratio for density of grams to milliliters. My question was, mathematically, if there was no one, how could we apply the canceling mathematical principles to just nouns, I guess, is what I was trying to figure out.
To units. You
Yes.
can cancel units with or without numbers.
So for what it represents.
Yeah, it's called dimensional analysis, and you can do that, we do it all the time.
Kind of like algebra and your coefficient of one, but this, you don't put one x.
Okay, what Teresa was a guinea pig for just now was an area of discussion that we have called precision of language. So the first thing that Browning did was say, multiply what, or I forgot what the question was. So the idea is clarity of it.
We planted you.
Well, actually, in my class, I give coupons, right? And so she would get a coupon for that, for being a guinea pig. But anyway, the clarity of instruction, and I think one of the good things that I learned when I went back to school was how, as a student, I needed clarity of instruction. And if we videotape ourselves in class, we can see where our instruction is not clear, and often it has to do with less precise language or a lack of clarity in the language where we're using a lot of pronouns. So you will hear me using some pronouns and you'll hear Brandon say the same thing that she said to you. So, you know, we all do it, but it's a bad habit in terms of instruction and communicating. My boss, previous boss, has said to me twice, I don't do it any longer, the same kind of question. Multiply what? You know, because in my mind, I've had this conversation back here, and I brought him in the middle of it. So, you know, we don't want to do that. So you're going to see these kind of questions and these kind of discussions in this instruction that's probably a little bit different from other kind of trainings that you get.
As I walked around, I listened to what y'all were saying to see, you know, how each one of you were phrasing things. And there's a lot of work to be done on clarifying our language and not using pronouns like it and not just assuming that I know it's multiplication, even though I did. Students may not. So, that's why I was walking around and listening to so many of y'all in a science lesson where I know a little bit of the science, but I don't know certainly as much as Patty or probably all of the rest of y'all. Okay. Alicia?
I was just gonna add, if you keep in your head, whatever you're explaining, whenever you're explaining it to your grandparent. Think about how much depth you have to go into when you're talking about explaining how to use a remote control on a TV, because there's a lot that goes into remote control these days, turning on a cable box and the TV. And when I have my grandparents stay over at my parents' house, we've had to leave out a list of instructions on how to turn on the TV for the beginning of the day. So if you think about it in that sense, you need to go into depth. You need to remember that whoever you're talking to is not an expert. They're just now learning this. You're the expert. So you have to break it down and remember when you were first learning it, how did you go through it? What was your process?
And we would like for you in your groups to require this precision of language, this clarity of language to help us all practice.
But when you get an email from Dr. West and it has something like that, just email her back. She'll explain what she was talking about, because I get them daily.
And then you'll be halfway through your year, and you'll be teaching, and you'll see these two, and you'll go, I see them now! You do, all the time, trust me. Right, Tim? We constantly see them. We're like,
Phantoms in your classroom.
you are a phantom. My kids know you though. So it's okay.
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome, thank you. All right, I think we can finish, and Ron, I'm looking at that clock, and I wish it were just 10, I think it says, but it's 11. And so do we have time to go down there and do anything?
Is it on 5 till 10?
We don't have a problem on Monday. You continue.
So they would have time to go down there and do the,
We have the lab all day.
okay, oh, okay. H, the acid test. On your cheat sheet, it says, do not perform the acid test on your box of samples. There is a dedicated box of mineral samples that matches yours down there. You're gonna do the acid test, tiny drop. You're gonna wear chemically splash-proof goggles to do that. When you finish, you're gonna put them in the goggle cabinet to be sanitized. And you're gonna look for evidence of a chemical change. Like what?
Bubble.
Foam,
So,
smell, color change, hearing, fizzing, right?
Yes.
Any kind of evidence, you're gonna put a plus sign. If you see no evidence of a chemical change, you're gonna put a minus sign. Test will take you about 2 minutes at the very most, okay? I, there is a horseshoe magnet down there. Remove the keeper off of the horseshoe magnet, and you're going to run your magnet across your egg carton of minerals. If there is any attraction between the magnet and any of your mineral samples, you put a plus sign. If there is no attraction evident, you put a minus sign. Take you about 30 seconds or less. And last is the fluorescence test. There is a black box down there with a UV light, short wave bulb, and a long wave bulb. They both will be on, and don't turn them off. That's hard on the bulbs. And so it is designed to protect your eyes from ultraviolet radiation. So there's a box of very good fluorescent samples. Put that box in so that you see what a positive test is, and then put your egg carton in there to see if you have anything that fluoresces. It's not reflection. If you see a nice smooth flat surface reflecting the purplish light from that UV light, that is not a positive fluorescence test. It will change colors. It might be yellow, it might be blue, it might be green. It will be some color different than the mineral sample, and put a plus if you see it and a minus if you don't. So, there is no certain order to how you do these tests. You can start any place you want. But because we have access to a room today, a lab room, with the stations set up, I would like to not have to set that room up tomorrow with the stations. So I would like for us to get that done. So can we take one table down there, and all you need to take with you is that data table and your carton of minerals. That's all you need down there, okay? This table will go first. The rest of us, we're gonna just start where you want to start. Y'all will be there in
I need my, yeah, have
Can we take our minerals with us?
all the magnet.
I'm not doing fine. Oh, we can do it. I'm gonna pick up. There you go. How's that? Could you pick up 6 trays of your backside and outside for me? And I'm gonna pick up this first one. No, I can't pick up the first one. Good, because I can't be here this afternoon.
But I'll be here tomorrow. You won't.
Oh, it was so hard on you.
It always.
It's so hard.
That's why Kim's having trouble.
Yes. Oh, no. I'm trying to ask a question because I'm so bad at science.
Well, see, and I have a problem. You have to wait to see what they discuss. And then you can ask them amount.
I said that when I wrote it, same amount.
I would have to record volume.
If I were to copy. But it's not.
I put both in. I put it in one of those amount and then I put volume in parentheses. So it gives the, I mean, you're dealing with water and water.
But I like it. Yeah.
You know, if I were teaching this 6th grade, this part, I would have put one in front of them, so that they knew it's one of these, that per means one. So, you know, what happens when I have 6 over 6, 7 over 7, what happens when I have one ring? Oh, it follows even if they still have, and the kids will do that, I've done this.
How are you?
And I managed to make one thing, and I had
It's hard to know because.
It's got the periodic table on one side, and it has rocks, minerals, and, the other one, on the other side.
So, tell me how I know you from where and when.
One of our repeat planes. My name's Laurie, or Annie Shipley. I was in your class.
Or is it
Yes.
in mixed class?
I'm mixed class.
And what school?
The STEM Academy of Minutes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was
I don't know. I'm not the good person.
I am now the 9th grade.
No, you can stop the recording just because they're not doing instruction right now.
I just got promoted.
Do they teach earth science?